up, turn me up.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Merry Bunch. My name is Nico,
Brianna,
William,
Keonda,
Chris,
Crystal,
and we are the Bunch. Dating changes from year to year and become increasingly more difficult in a digital world. The Bunch introduces Charlie to the podcast to discuss singleness in 2024, while she then chimes in with a single person's perspective of previously discussed Bunch topics. So enjoy the ride. All right, so let's welcome Charlie to the podcast. Woo! Yeah, so let's jump into it on how we know Charlie. You want to start, Key?
she is my first cousin. Her mom is my mom's sister.
Right, sister. So yeah, she's our family. Want to welcome you to the podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me here.
Yes, of course. So let's get into it and let's start with some background on your dating life.
Ooh.
Yes. What you want to tell us?
what you want to know?
Any long-term relationships?
Yeah.
The longest long-term relationship was in high school, 2 years. Other than that, it's been mostly like situationships, I would say.
Elaborate. What are situationships?
So the relationship without a technical title, you feel me? Like, you do what you do, I'm doing what I'm doing, but we're also like together but not together. It's a little complicated, but yeah.
So what's the longest situationship?
On and off 10 years.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know.
So why so long?
He playing games, and then on top of that, like, once he got to a level where he wanted to like be with me, it was like, now I'm going through some things, so like it didn't match up. So yeah.
So when you say 10 years, is that still going on today?
That's a good question. Maybe up until like maybe a couple months ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Said the same thing myself.
So in any of these situationships, could it lead to anything more? Or is it just going to stay that way?
It would have definitely led to something more previously had he taken me seriously, but now that he's trying to take me seriously now, and I'm just like, you know, you kind of like, I'm not saying that you missed your chance, but it was just like what you were doing and what you were saying to me versus what you're doing and what you're saying now, it's not matching up. So I guess it's more of like, if we could get back to the point where we used to be, then yeah, we could definitely be something. But right now, it's just going with the flow. Like, hey, if you're serious about what you're saying, you have to show me that you're serious. But right now, I'm just taking it as, oh, you're still doing the same stuff that you were doing back then. So why would I take you serious right now? Like, you're telling me you want to be something else, but you're not showing me that you want to be something else. So I'm the type of person like, yeah, actions mean more than words. And right now, it's just all talk. So till you show me, you gonna stay where you at.
Right.
So yeah.
So in this situation, do you love this person?
Oh yeah,
Or
I
have
do.
love?
I definitely have love for this person. I will forever have love for this person. Like, my thing is, when it comes to any type of relationship, whether or not we're in a situationship or not, we have to be friends. So we're cool, you feel me? Like, we're friends. I can talk to them, they can talk to me, and vice versa or whatever. But until you show me that you want me, and for me as far as all of me, we're not going anywhere. Like, we can have fun, we can go on dates, we can kick it, you know, we can shoot, whatever. But if your actions aren't there, like, don't expect me to put more out there than what you're putting out there.
Right. Gotcha.
So what is the difference between I have love for you and I love this person? Because you kind of changed up your words. You was like, I love him. No, I got love for him. What's the difference?
So me having love for you is, I love you as a person. You know, I get where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. But saying that I love you is like, oh, I'm taking everything about you and, oh, we can move X, Y, and Z or whatever. So just because I love you doesn't mean that I'm trying to go to the next level with you. Because I can love you in all different forms. Just like you love your friends, you love your family, and you're in love with the person that you're in love with. Like, I love you. We can have fun, we can do whatever, but until you start doing the things that it takes to be in a relationship, I don't.
So let me ask: is it like in love, no boundaries? Love for you, there's a lot of boundaries. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, that's a tough one because, like, I love you. I love you as a person. I love the things that, not that you can do for me, but I love the things that you do as a person. But it's complicated. I'm trying to get the words. And I'm sorry, you have to excuse me, but
So basically, you love them, but you're not in love with them. Basically.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not to say that I couldn't be in love with you. It's just you're not putting the actions behind it to make me fall in love with you.
That's good. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Right.
So, Charlie, how would you describe your ideal partner?
My ideal partner is just somebody who I can depend on in any type of situation. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm going through. I can talk to you, like, whether or not I need advice or just I need you to listen to me. Like, I'm not one of those people that require you to come into a situation like, oh, you need to have this, this, and this. Like, I don't care what you have. Like, I'm not a materialistic type of person. It's just more of like, can I be open and vulnerable with you? Can I, like, show you when I'm having a hard day, like,
Your true self.
right? Like, that's all that matters to me. So I don't care about whether or not you have, like, all these other acclimates or whatever. Like, what you have is what you have. Cool. I'm not going to fault you for that. I'm not going to fault you for the stuff that you don't have. But if you can be there for me as a person, just in every aspect generally, I'm cool with that. Because at the end of the day, like, my thing is I come with what I come with. You come with you come with. Like, I'm not looking for you to have the same things as me, because at the end of the day, especially in this economy, like, nobody's going to match up 100%. Like, somebody's going to fall short. So
Right.
I can't say, oh, because you don't have this degree or you don't have a car or you don't have X, Y, and Z, like, you can't do anything for me, when you can do so much for me on the back end that a lot of people don't think about. So that's my thing. I'm more of like, how vulnerable can I be with you? How comfortable can I be? Can I talk to you? Are you honest with me? Like, if we're not lying about anything and everything's like head front, there's a clear communication, then we're good, because I don't care what you have. If I have a car and you don't have a car, sure. You know, I can take you here, or you can use my car, you can do whatever, as long as you're not trying to play me like I'm stupid.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. So it sounds like you care more about the emotional connection. So do we have to have a job?
I was just about to ask, what are some requirements? You got to have some.
okay, if you don't have a job, you have to be looking for a job, or you have to have, like, you're in school, or there's something to, you know, there's something that you're taking place of the fact that you don't have a job that can, like, overcome you not having a job. Because at the end of the day, I'm not paying your bills. So
Okay.
so don't look at me to pay your stuff. Like, if you can pay your own stuff, you're making your own money, cool, you do what you do. Just don't ask me for, you know, that extra, if that makes sense.
Okay. You was about to say something?
No, I just asked, like, what are some of the requirements? I mean, they got to have something.
I mean, I would prefer you have a car, obviously, because I don't want to have to keep driving all the time and picking you up, taking you wherever, going this, that place, and that. I would like for you to have a job. I would like for you to have a car. You know, I
Require
would
it.
like for you to have your own place or whatever. But I'm not saying that that's a necessary. That's not necessarily a deal breaker for me. Like, say for instance, you don't have a job, but you're in school. You have a car, but you're in school. Again, you don't have a job. Like, okay, the fact that you're in school trying to get this degree to get the job that you want, that's fine with me. But again, don't come to me looking to take care of you financially, because I'm not that person.
Okay, so let me reword the question.
Okay.
What are some deal breakers for you?
Deal breakers for me. You're abusive, because I'm not dealing with that. Okay. I will fight you.
She my cousin.
You know, like, no, seriously.
No, that's not right, y'all.
I will fight you. Like, don't try and put your hands on me. Mm-hmm. I don't like, if, say for instance, I don't have kids. If you have kids or whatever, you're not about to disrespect your baby mama. You're not about to sit up here and be doing all this extra stuff, because I think of it like this. Like, if I don't have kids, you have kids, and you're doing this to the person that you have kids with, I'm not about to have kids with you. I'm not about to take you seriously, because what you're doing to her, obviously you're going to do to me. And that's not cool in my eyes. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So it really depends on the person. And I'm the type of person, like, I'm doing my research. I'm doing my background checks. Like, you're not getting away with that with me, because I'm going to say something to you or correct you in that manner. So I guess the bare minimum for me, you're in school, you got some type of money. You ain't got to be rich. You ain't got to, whatever. You got to be able to take care of your own. Because again, I'm not taking care of you. That's not me. Yeah. I'm not your sugar mama, none of that. Like, if you're with me, it's to build with me, not what you can get off of me. Because, baby, you're not getting anything from me. It's not happening. So
can I ask, do you like to date dudes that are like younger or older than you?
I would prefer older. I would 100% prefer older. But if you are younger than me, you have to have something going. You have to have something going for yourself. Mm-hmm. And you have to, it sounds crazy, but like, either you have to present yourself as older than me, if that makes sense.
You got to be mature.
Right. So like, the whole, I have an old soul, old spirit, like, kind of that situation.
So if you dating somebody older than you, I would say, even if they're in school.
Oh no, you at that point, depending on how old you are, you definitely have to have a job.
You
gotta have a job.
You knew
you gotta
where I was going.
If you're older than me, depending on how much older than me you are, you definitely have to have certain things. But with this economy, I can't fault you if you had to take a couple steps back, because the economy has messed up a lot of us right now.
But there's still jobs.
Right. No. I'm not saying that there's not jobs and stuff like that, but I'm saying, like, I'm not expecting you to hold this certain salary or this certain degree.
Right.
Just because, definitely. Like I said, with the economy and with COVID and everything that messed everything up, like, you have to have something going for yourself. Right, you feel me? But if you're older than me, oh yeah, no, you got to have something, because at the end of the day, I can't have more than you and you're older than me, because you had more time to like hold on to it before COVID came.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. So how much older would you date?
50.
That honestly depends on how much money you're making.
Tierra.
Charlie.
I'm being
serious. Okay, so say for instance, right? Mm-hmm. You're a 70-year-old person.
You would not
would date a 70-year-old?
If you don't look 70. And I'm not one of those people. I don't care about ages. You feel me? Money. It's pause. We're not gonna say it like that. We're not gonna say it like I want money or nothing like that. We're not saying it like that. But if you're going to be older than me, especially if you're that much older than me, you have to have something more than what I have.
I hope I said
the damn words.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like you would have to have more than me. But what I'm saying is there's no specific age requirement for me. If that makes sense, as long as you treat me the way that I want to be treated and that I need to be treated, and you can take care of me. Now, okay, I would prefer to stay within like
10 years. That's
10, 15.
yeah.
10, 15 years.
Okay.
But if it's older than that, then, you know.
So you want the social security check?
Not saying that. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that at all, because at the end of the day, my thing is when it comes to older people, because of how they were raised on a different, you know, set of morals as far as, oh, I need to take care of you. I need to show you what you are to me. Mm-hmm. And like from my experience, a lot of the older men like want to show you like, hey, I appreciate you for you. I genuinely care about you as a person. Whereas a lot of people like, you know, my age, it's like, what can you do for me now? Mm-hmm. So I don't really have like an age requirement. It's just more of how you treat me. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you can't be lacking what I have if you're a lot older than me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So you think all older men gonna treat you better than a younger man?
Didn't say that at all.
Oh, I'm just
Did not say that at all, because there's a lot of older people who want to beat on you and think that you're just going to stay here because that's what they're used to back in their age. And hey, my thing is, you get with somebody like me and you try that if you want to.
Eat the cake, anime.
I'm not eating no type of cake. It's not gonna happen. It's not happening. So again, it really depends on how you're coming at me and how you're treating me. Because just because you're paying my bills and you're doing all this, that don't mean that I'm just gonna let you slap me around. Like, that's not me as a person. Like, I'll fight you.
Okay.
You got the fighting spirit.
Let's move on to the next question.
Let's go.
So do you desire to get married and to have kids?
I would love to get married and have kids. Honestly, I've wanted kids since I was 16. So, you know, the fact that I don't have any, powering through, babes. But I would like to get married. Like, I have always wanted to have, you know, my family, my husband, my kids. That's just something that I've always wanted. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So I will say this: the fact that you want kids, but you're taking precautions not to do that, I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
Because it's a lot of people out here that just, myself included, bring kids in the world out of wedlock. So the fact that you are doing it right, Tierra, that is
Charlie.
Mm-hmm. I'm clapping for you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So based on the marriage, would you want like a traditional marriage or a non-traditional marriage?
Honestly, for me, it wouldn't matter. As long as that person genuinely cared about me as a person, I could care less if it was just me and him, or I mean, if it's gonna be me, him, and somebody else, like, cool with me too. Like, I'm fine either way. Non-traditional would definitely be, you know, sounds more fun, but you know, if it's just me and him, I'm not gonna complain as long as you're able to communicate what you need, and you know, we are where we need to be, and everything's good and copacetic. I'm fine with it.
So are you saying just bringing someone into the bedroom, or you would be poly?
I would say more poly. You know, threesomes and stuff, that's fine, that's cool and fun or whatever, but to be able to have a third who's like genuinely in love with the both of us, not just like, oh, I love him, but I'm dealing with you, or I'm in love with you and just dealing with him. Like, I would want a female who's, if I was going to go the non-traditional route, I would want a female who's genuinely in love with both of us, because at the end of the day, that's 3 different incomes. So that's more money towards our rent. So, you know, it's not as expensive, especially if we decide to have kids, and it's like more eyes to take care of our kids. Like, there's a lot of beneficial factors that come with having 3 of us, but it all depends on if we're all together and we all understand the same, you know, dynamic. Like, we all want the same thing. It's not going to work if she's just trying to do this because she's feeling one or the other of us. Like, you have to genuinely love the both of us, just like both of us would genuinely love you. Right. You feel me? Gotcha. So, like I said, either or is fine with me as long as we're all on the same accord when it comes to that.
All right.
So, I'm gonna just say how I just said it off. When you know the saying like more money, more problems, and I feel like you're talking about the benefits, but more people, more problems, because now you have to deal with, because you kept saying her, so I'm gonna just continue with that. You got to deal with his issues, you got to deal with her issues, and it doesn't matter if they both love you, right, or y'all all love each other. Right. That's two people that you have to deal with. Anybody who is in a marriage and it's only y'all two, right, that is still a lot of work. Right. So I couldn't even imagine trying to bring another person and trying to share my time equally, and And when we talk about the traditional marriage, are you more into marrying a woman, or are you more into marrying a man?
So for me, I would say that I'm more into marrying a man, just because when it comes to me in the female aspect, like, I've done things with females sexually, but I've never like had an actual like relationship with the female. So my thing is, when it comes to a female, like, I can be around you. We can have fun. We can talk like, homegirls and everything like that. Like, don't get me wrong. I've had genuine feelings for a female before. We just never made it to that relationship aspect. So if it came to me dating a dude and us having a female, brought into the forefront or whatever, like, I feel like I could do it, just because with being a female, I pretty much know how you work as far as like your moods. Like, I'm not saying that I know you as a person, because every person is different, but as a female, like, you can kind of like, test the waters as far as seeing like, oh, I know you have an attitude today, or I know you're upset, or I know that you're like super happy. So for me, it would be easier to marry just a man or whatever, just because, I'm used to that. But I'm not opposed to having a female in the whole situation. And my thing when it comes to that is, everything is, there's a learning curve. So every relationship, it doesn't matter if you're strictly monogamous or not. When you start dealing with that other person, you have to learn who that person is. You have to learn what their quirks are, what their, what they don't like, what they do like. I think when it comes to more of like a polyamorous situation, marriage, relationship, whatever you want to call it at that time, depending on your stage that you're in, you have to know who that person is. So if I'm dating a dude and I'm dating a girl, obviously we're all going to have times where, we don't connect or we disconnect. But the difference is, say for instance, I'm dating somebody, it's a girl, it's a guy. I'm upset. I might be upset with the both of them. I might be upset with one. One might know me better than the other one, and the other one doesn't understand. So if I choose to like go outside because I'm mad, the person who knows me better, depending on how long I was with them, can talk to the other person and be like, hey, well, this is what she was, not understanding. Like, I can explain to you why I'm upset and you still not understand it, versus somebody else explaining it to you who's in the situation with me, who's say I've lashed out at them. They know like why I lashed out at them, and they can explain to you why I lashed out better than I can explain in that situation, because I'm mad, because they've been on the receiving end of it. Right. So they're like, oh, this is why, whatever happened. Right.
And I get what you're saying. I just feel like, no offense, it's a cop out, because the learning never stops when you're in a relationship. Right. So with your partner, whoever you're married to, y'all have to continue to work. Y'all need to be able to communicate with each other. You don't need a third person to mediate that with y'all, unless you go into marriage counseling. But I feel like it's too much room for error. Somebody has to communicate your issues to the other spouse. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Because it will never be genuinely how you feel. It's still a room for interpretation.
I get what you're saying, but honestly, that's the same thing as you going to a therapist. It's the same thing. You're talking to somebody who you're paying to listen to what you're going through, to tell you something, versus somebody who's not being paid, who you're in a relationship with, so they can tell you more in depth about, oh, this is why they feel like that. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you can go to a therapist, but the therapist can only tell you what they know, versus like based off of their knowledge of the situation or based off their knowledge of you. Whereas your partner who has dealt with you for, say I've been with this dude for like 10 years. This girl came in 5 years in the fact. She doesn't understand where I'm coming from. He can explain to you why I'm upset better than a therapist can, because he's been with me for 10 years. So he sees stuff that your therapist doesn't see, or stuff that your therapist will never hear of. So it's really the same thing. Like that third person would be considered your therapist in that situation. Like I get where you're coming from, but
I think Crystal got something.
I don't think it's, my opinion, I don't think it's the same. Because it's like the old saying, what the old folks say, your therapist wouldn't have a dog in the fight. You get what I'm saying?
Right, because
All
they're getting
three of
paid
y'all
to be
like-
there.
But not even that.
They're not in the mix. Like, you get what I'm saying? They're on the outside looking in.
Right. No, I
So they
get
can
that,
give you
but
a different
you have
perspective.
you also still have some therapists who are emotionally, and therapists aren't supposed to be emotionally charged in the situation. They should be able to, separate where they're coming from. And I guess the reason that I'm saying what I'm saying in the way that I'm saying it is, I'm the type of person that it doesn't matter what my relationship is with you. If you're talking to me or coming to me for advice, I'm able to step out of my emotional relationship with you as a person to listen to you as an outsider, if that makes sense. Like, I can put my brain like, okay, we're not in this relationship. I can just look at you as a person. But my thing is, if that other person is with you and they know how you are emotionally, as far as some things that you just can't say, or you can't put into words what you're trying to say, they can explain it a little better, especially depending on how emotionally charged you are in that situation, if that makes sense.
Okay, but you looking at it as in one scenario. What if all three of y'all are on 3 different pages? Like, y'all beefing with each other hard.
If all three of us are on 3 different pages and we all sit together and we're talking about it and we just can't come to a conclusion, or we can't come to a head, at that point, then we all have to step away and see, like, hey, is this something that we really want to do? Do we all still want to be together, or, are we trying to separate? Am I still trying to be with him and not be with you? Am I still trying to be with you and not be with him? Or am I trying to be to myself altogether? So that would still be the same situation if you went to therapy, or if you talk to your therapist about it. But instead of like where some people go to therapy and it's just, one-on-one, like you're talking to each person individually, like we're all together talking about it. I don't know if I'm misunderstanding the question.
No.
Like,
So
I just think it'd be easier with 2 people.
Yeah, but
and it might be easier.
yourself.
It might be easier with 2 people, but you also have to take into the understanding of, I'm not a person that just likes men. You feel me? Like, I like men, I like women. There's certain things that I can get from a woman that I can't get from a man.
Okay, so let's go back to what you said in the beginning. The reason in your situationship he wasn't able to, or he wasn't giving you what you wanted, so now you kind of out of it. So what I'm saying is, if you are in a relationship and you like men or you like women, you should have so much love for that person that you're deciding to be with that it takes away whatever desires that you may have for somebody else. Did that make sense?
That makes sense, but at the same time, me liking both, a man is not going to be able to do everything that I want. As far as liking a female, like
I
there's
think a female wouldn't be able to do everything you want,
and vice versa. That's what I'm saying. Vice versa. Like, there's certain things that I can get from a man that a woman's not going to be able to hold up for me. And there's certain things or certain aspects that a man can't do. So
so what's the aspect?
Yeah, I'm finna say.
I'm saying, say for instance, you get with a dude who, you know, y'all vibe with, y'all connect with, everything like that, but he's not the most like emotionally available type of person. I'm not saying emotionally available, but he's not one of those people who put his emotions on the front burner. Like, he's more nonchalant, like he brushes stuff off, whereas you have this female who's like completely like involved. What's the word I'm looking for? She's completely like there emotionally with you. Like, she understands how you're feeling. She can comfort you, whereas he might not be able to comfort you in that aspect, but he can do other things that she can't do for you. Okay. If that makes sense.
So then, do you think that being in a polyamorous relationship causes room for jealousy? If you're saying emotionally she can be here, emotionally she can do this or he can do that, do you think it's more space for jealousy?
I'm not going to say that there's more space for jealousy because
amongst y'all.
I'm not saying that there's more space for jealousy because at the end of the day, there's jealousy in all relationships. Like, there will be some type of jealousy in all relationships. Whether or not he chooses to tell you or you choose to tell him what your whatever you got going on in that whole thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can be jealous, oh, I feel X, Y, and Z, or whatever the case may be. He might not be able to, you know, fulfill that for you. If you're in a polyamorous relationship, say, oh, I just feel like I'm not getting the attention that I want, or whatever. It's three of y'all. And my thing is, when I say polyamorous, I don't mean like, oh, he's just here for me and she's my girlfriend. I'm not talking about that. Like, you know, there's some situations where you have a girl who's dating another girl, but she's also in a relationship with this guy and they have no dealing, like the other girl and the guy have no dealings with each other at all. Like, one's there for one thing, one there's for the other thing. I'm talking about more of like a throuple situation. Like, the three of us are in a relationship together. So me, I love him, I love you. He loves me, he loves you. You love me, you love him.
So do you have any examples, real life examples?
From being in a throuple?
Polyamorous. Do you have any real life examples where this is executed effectively? Do you have any real life examples of that?
I can't say that I do, just because of the simple situation of like a lot of people, it's like a taboo between a lot of people. So a lot of people aren't, you know, trying to divulge into that situation. And I'm one of those people who I don't mind jumping head first into that situation to see what it's like, because I've never had one where it was like, oh, it's all three of us. It's been a situation where, oh, I might like her or I might like him, and they're both fine with me talking to both of them. But I want a situation where it's like all three of us are together. So no, I don't have an example of it working out in my favor as far as me being in that. It's just more of the hopes of what could happen. Like, that's what I want. But again, I'm fine with either or. It's just, if I was into that non-traditional relationship, that's what I want. Like, and I'm very upfront about that situation with anybody that I talk about. Like, hey, if I'm dating you and you're dating me and I know that I want a girl, I'm going to talk about that with you before I just bring somebody into the situation, or I just spring it on you. It's not going to be like spare of the moment type of thing. Like,
so let me ask you a question. So you really think or feel that a throuple is not as complicated, or it's not more complicated than a regular couple relationship?
I never said that. What I'm saying is that's what I want. No, I know that there's going to be, you know, probably more hurdles when it comes to that, because it's not just like I'm not just dealing with one person.
Right.
I'm dealing with two other people.
So you didn't say that earlier?
No. To my knowledge, I did not say that. What did you
Girl, I done
ask me?
Asked a lot.
Exactly. So again, like I said,
I think what you were kind of saying was the third person in any situation. If two people are going through something, the third person can act as a therapist instead of actually going to a therapist. But I don't feel like that because y'all are all intimate with each other.
Right.
So there's no way that this person can really express your emotions. And again, I go back to that's being a cop-out, because if y'all are in this polyamorous throuple, whatever you want to call it, y'all should all be able to communicate. I don't need you to communicate. That's like me going and talking to Chris and telling Chris to go and tell Buki something, and we're not even in a throuple, but that makes no sense for me to tell Chris to tell Buki something.
Right. And I'm not saying that they should just go to that other person to ask like how you feel. Like obviously it should be a conversation between all of y'all, but I'm saying what I was trying to say was, if they're not understanding after I've explained it to you,
right, I get
that
all of
other
that.
person might be able to explain it a little better than what I can, especially if we're, you know, like I'm not saying in an argument or it's a heated discussion or like, you know, so your emotions get everywhere. Like they might be able to be like, hey, don't take it personally. This is how they're coming from. Cause you know me, you know me. When I'm upset, I just say whatever. And it's not even directed to that person. It's just because I'm upset. So if you have that other person who's right there in that moment, who can explain it to you, it's a little different. Because when it comes to a therapist, like all these words are said, all this stuff is thrown around, you go wherever, and then you talk about it versus in that whole moment.
All right, so now that we know what you like and don't like, are you looking for a relationship in 2024?
No, not really. Just because I'm trying to fully understand who I am as a person and get to know like what I like and what I don't like, because so much of my life I've been trying to uphold a standard for like what other people wanted and trying to be the perfect person for somebody else instead of being the perfect person for me.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Well, speaking of that, what examples have you seen growing up of relationships? How do you feel about that?
So the relationships that I thought were perfect, you know, as a kid, you see this certain group and you're like, oh, that's what I want. But once you grow up and then you learn like the dynamics of a relationship and you start to see like the ins and outs that you didn't as a child, like, oh, you noticed something, but it didn't register to you. So I wouldn't say that any relationship to me is an example of a perfect relationship or one that I would want to be in, just because everybody has their own trials and tribulations in their own relationship. Right. So I think it would all depend on the relationship that I'm in and whether or not that relationship works for me.
Okay. I like that.
Thank you.
So next month, you'll be turning 30.
Oh, God.
The big 3-0. Do you feel any pressure to settle down?
I wouldn't say that I feel a pressure to settle down just because I've wanted to settle down since I was a kid, you know, growing up. Like, I've always wanted that whole dynamic. But, you know, as time goes by, it's like, you know, am I ready for an actual relationship? Am I ready for somebody to deal with me and all the ugliness that it is to deal with me, the good, the bad, like all of that? Like, I don't know. So, yeah.
Okay.
Did y'all feel pressure at the age of 30, turning 30 to like settle down, or were y'all already in a relationship?
We got married when we were like 26.
Yeah, so we was already down.
Yeah.
You know. So
Well, I got married at 30.
I got married at, I ain't gonna tell you, because that'll tell you how old I am. All right, but yeah, I felt, not that I felt pressure, because marriage, like I had already said, it wasn't like something I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get married. But I felt pressure at 30 Probably because I felt like I wasn't at the place that I thought I would be when I was 30. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. 30 was tough for me. Turning 30 was tough. That's all I can say.
Yeah, for me, like, I feel like everything kind of happened how I thought would happen, right? I went to college. I got my degree. I got my job. I met someone. I got married. Naturally, I thought, because I was always like, 3 years, we're going to have kids. That didn't happen for us. So naturally, everything has happened how it was supposed to happen. So this hasn't happened. So I'm kind of like, that was my kind of, not shocker, but that my kind of thing that,
All right, so describe your experience with dating online.
So when it comes to dating online, I've had some good experiences. I've had some bad experiences. Mostly bad. But I can't downplay the people who I've met on there that have been genuine. Mm-hmm. So, I can't say that it's all bad. Majority, yes.
Right.
But
bad in
there's
what
some
way?
Who?
Catfish bad?
No,
like,
not
okay.
catfish bad. Every person that I've ever met has definitely been the person that I've seen.
Okay, good.
That's good.
But it's more of just the connection with us. On that, I think most people think that I might be the catfish just because.
Why would you say that?
I'm one of them people, I don't mind texting you. I will text you all day. We can go meet up. You want to FaceTime me? That's where I draw the line. Because I don't like being on camera. Because most of the time, when I'm on camera, you're not seeing my whole face anyways. You're only seeing, like, my eyeball. Because I'm doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Mm-hmm. So, you're more liable to, like, be like, oh, let's meet up. And I'll meet up with you. But if you call me, I'm doing 1,000 other things, so I'm not trying to talk to you as I'm on the phone. Like, I'm just not that person. Like, I used to be. Mm-hmm. Like, I used to be that person. We can talk on the phone all day, every day. Right. But now, I don't want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. Text me. Plan a date. I'll show up. We can have fun.
Well, speaking of dates, can you describe a great date you've had?
So, a great date for me... I gotta think, because I don't really go on dates like that. So, the dates that I've had that were fun, like, obviously there was a bar included because I like to drink, and we play games. I'm that person. You're more liable to catch me like boxcar, playing games, doing stuff like that, versus like, oh, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna go to a movie. Because if I'm going to a movie, I'm not paying attention to you, I'm paying attention to the movie.
Right.
We go out to eat, I like to eat. I'm paying more attention to my food than I am you. Right. You feel me? So you have to find something to incorporate talking to me and doing fun things. Because if it's not fun, obviously I'm not there. And if it's too fun, I'm not paying attention to you. Yeah. So there has to be a balance between them,
And on the flip side, do you have any, terrible dates that you had?
The only bad date that I can say that I've been on, I went to Olive Garden, which was my favorite. It's my favorite place. I love Olive Garden. I absolutely love it. But before we went there, I asked the dude, I was like, okay, so how are we doing this pay situation before we get here? Okay. Are we going Dutch? Are you paying for it? Like, you want me to pay for it? Like, what is it? Because I want to be upfront so I know whether or not I need to bring my wallet or not. Right. So he was like, oh, I'm going to be a gentleman. I'm going to take you on a date, whatever. I knew that wasn't the case. So, I had my money regardless. We got there. Date went the way that I expected it. Not too well, because, again, I didn't really want to go on the date with him, but I went. Right. After a couple years of you asking me to go out, I finally... Chill out. After a couple of years, you know, I finally went out with him. And, you know, me, I'm not going to make it seem like I don't want to be there. Even though I didn't want to be there, I faked the funk. Like, it was all fun and games or whatever. I feel like the moment that he knew I wasn't planning on doing anything with him afterwards, like, there was no chance of nothing.
Right.
He switched. Like, there was a flip that got switched. So when the bill came, he was like, oh, so how do you want to do this? And I'm like, what do you mean? You told me you was paying for it because I asked you before the date. Like, now, mind you, I had my money. It was just more of a principle of the matter.
Right.
So obviously, I egged it on more than it should have been egged on. I'm just like, so what you gonna do? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm playing like, oh, I ain't got no money, I can't do whatever. He made up this lame excuse, whatever. I ended up paying for my stuff after the fact, and then he paid. I cashed out him my portion, and then I blocked him because what do we have to talk about at that point?
Right.
Like, you said you were going to be a gentleman. You were going to take up the bill. You caused a scene. I'm going to give you your money. Like, I don't have a problem paying you because at the end of the day, had you told me we were going to go Dutch, I already had my money.
Right.
So I was going to pay for my part regardless.
Right. Well,
But
speaking
you-
of going Dutch, you think a man should pay for the first date?
I'm not gonna say that I think that a man should pay on the first date. I feel like there's a discussion that needs to be had
Before.
because my thing is, me as a female, I can't assume that you're going to pay for it. Like, yeah, it would be great if you did, but because of the time and era that we're in,
Right.
I can't say that you're gonna do it. You feel me?
So I have a question. So for the rest of us, have you ever paid on the first date?
For myself or for everybody?
Like anyone at the table?
I've paid for myself, but I'm not paying for both of us.
No, I've never paid on the first date. Not for him, not for me.
So
So what am I doing wrong?
I mean, I look at it like this. If you're asking me to go out on a date, you are paying. I will sit there and look at you like you crazy.
And that's why I wish that. Oh, sorry.
Nah, I was just saying.
Y'all go ahead.
It just don't make sense to, if a man asks you out on a date, he should already have plans of, taking care of everything. So
Right.
Thank you.
that don't make sense at all.
No
So-
going Dutch.
So next time, just get up and walk away.
Right.
Leave out before him.
Yeah, go
It's
to
a
the
race
bathroom
to
or
the door.
something.
Yeah, that shouldn't even be a question.
Not at all.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, like, it was just weird. Because it was like, we talked about this before it happened. Before we got here, I asked you. You said you were going to, take care of the bill. So I left my quote-unquote wallet.
Well, you said the answer why you knew he didn't, pay for it eventually. So
No pay.
Right.
you already knew.
Which
pay.
is still trash, though.
Especially since you already knew him.
Right, that's in my opinion,
No
that's
pay.
trash.
No pay.
And that's, like I said, my opinion, the whole situation that happened with me was trash. Because it's like, bro, I asked you like days, hours before it happened. Like, how are we going to do this? Because if you wanted to go Dutch, I'm perfectly fine paying for my own meal. We're not going to call this a first date.
Right.
We going to call this a hangout, a meetup.
Right.
Like, it is what it is. But for you to say, oh, I'm going to take care of it because I'm a gentleman, and then you get there, it was fine for the way that I played it off.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
All right, so
And then afterwards, when you found out you weren't going to sit up here and get nothing from it,
Right.
Right.
now it's like, oh, now I want you to pay for your own meal. Sir, I don't have a problem with that, but the type of person that I am, because you said that you were going to pay for it, oh, it's gonna be a whole situation, and I'm having fun with this at this point, because regardless, I'm gonna pay for my meal, but I'm gonna piss you off in the whole process.
Okay, we got a question for you.
Yeah. So while you was talking about that, you said that he made a scene. So what was the scene?
So when the bill came, right? Because again, it was fine because I played it off. The bill came, and he was like, "Oh, so how you want to do this?" And I was like, "What you mean? What you mean? How you want to do this?"
Did you order anything extra?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did first. Okay, so I did get a drink, but I was
Girl, that ain't extra.
I was planning on paying for my drink. When it comes to me going on a date with somebody, if they're going to pay for my food, you're paying for my food. If I get drinks, I'm paying for my own drinks. I'm not expecting you to pay for. Right. I'm not alcoholic. What? Oh, okay. I'm not expecting you to pay for my drinks, because you're paying for the actual meal itself.
Okay, so what was the scene, though? What was the scene?
The nigga acted crazy when the bill came.
I mean, did he start screaming?
No, it wasn't even like he was screaming or cussing. He was like, "So what you gonna do?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What am I gonna do? Like, you told me that you were paying for it. I'm paying for my drink. Like, we had this discussion. Like, I'm calm. The way that I'm talking to you right now is how I was talking to him. I was like, I mean, I'll pay for my drinks. You said that you were going to pay for the meal. Like, what's going on?"
And his reaction?
He kind of got a little loud. And once he got loud, like, not trying to be funny, like the type of person that I am, I just looked at him and I'm like, So what you saying? Like, you not paying for it? Like, you paying for yours? You
and
paying?
then his reaction?
Okay, so then he has a phone call.
Oh,
No. Listen. He had a phone call. He had to go outside. I was like, all right, cool. So I'm sitting there, I'm chilling, because apparently it was one of his kids. Something happened, and he's outside talking. So I paid my portion. I paid for my bill. I'm not paying for your bill. Like, whatever you got going on ain't got nothing to do with me. Because of the energy that I got, I'm gonna pay for my stuff, and it's gonna be what it is. So he came in. He actually paid for everything. I ended up just cash apping him, because after that, I don't want nothing to do with you.
So was he really on the phone with his kids, or was he trying to figure out his money situation?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what his situation was, because I didn't ask, nor did I care.
Right.
Because again, I cash tapped him. I cash apped him my portion of my bill. Right. Because again, I didn't have my actual wallet on me or my card to pay for my portion. So I gave him the money for my portion. So he paid for everything. Gotcha. Then he tried, it was just a whole ordeal. He said, like, his kid had broke his leg or something. And I was like, oh, okay. That's like, so that I hope like he's, I was like, oh, I hope he feels better or whatever. He came back into the restaurant. He paid for it. I was in my car, and I was like, yo, I'm just going to cash app you my portion. He was like, okay, cool, bet. I cash apped him my portion, and I blocked him. Cause
okay, so with all that said, do you believe in chivalry, or is it dead?
I believe in chivalry. I do. Okay. I love, like, when a man, like, opens my door, does the stuff that's chivalrous, but at the same time, because of the day and age that I'm in, I'm not requiring it. I'm not requiring you to do it, because if you do it, what do you want from it? What do you want from it? Right, because that's what most men. Okay, I'm not gonna say most men. It's a certain year that you're born in. I can't tell you the designated year, because, some people are very old fashioned, and, they were raised the right way. So they want to do things the right way. But then you have these other dudes who are like, oh, I'm going to do this with the not exception, what's the word I'm looking for? Anticipation of you're going to get something behind it. Right. So it's like, I need to figure out which year you are.
Right.
Are you the one that's just trying to do things because that's the right way to do it and that's the way that you were raised? Or is it, oh, I'm doing this because I want something from you? Right. Like, if I know that you're doing it just because you were born that way, because me as a female, like, I'm old fashioned. I want to take care of my man. You know, I want, she'll tell you. She might not tell you. But the point is, like, surprisingly, I'm very domestic. Like, I love, don't do that.
I'm just listening.
I love to take care of the dude that I'm dealing with. Like, if I'm dealing with you, honestly.
So how long should you date before making it official?
You're asking the wrong person that question.
Why?
Because clearly, I told you that I have more situationships than relationships. But my thing is, I'm stupid. So
So do you believe in love at first sight?
No. Lust at first sight, yes.
Okay.
Not love. Not love. Just because I can't say that I've been in love with somebody on first sight. I've 100% been in lust with somebody on first sight. Like, I'm like, okay. So, yeah.
All right.
So how do you feel about one night stands?
Feel like because we are all grown, like, one night stands don't matter as long as you're safe. If you're safe in a one night stand, cool. But if you over here just raw dogging, hey, more power to you. But couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
How do you feel about cheating and sneaky links?
I will never be the cheater.
So
that just sounds so bad, though.
You will never.
I would never cheat on somebody. You feel me? So, okay, say for instance, Crystal, right?
So you would want to be the mistress?
No.
So what you saying?
I mean, that sounds bad. That sounds so bad. That sounds so bad. But my thing is, like, me personally, I'm not gonna cheat. You feel me? So if you say, Crystal, me and you were in a relationship, right? You choose to cheat on your person with me. That's on you. But do not expect me to cheat on my person with you. Because you're the cheater. I'm not.
I'm lost like a mug. I'm lost.
Okay,
So in other words, she's saying she don't mind being the side piece.
What I'm...
That's what you said.
Don't say it like...
But she won't cheat on her man.
Don't say it like that. You can cheat with me, because if you're cheating with me, I'm single.
You still cheating?
Nah. We gonna edit this out.
You still cheating?
No, she's still the side piece. That's
No,
what
I'm not the side. No. Because the side, because the side piece, a lot of the times when it comes to side pieces, they want to be the main, right?
It doesn't matter. They're still a side piece.
You in a relationship cheating, right?
No,
I'm not in a relationship. I'm
she's
single. I'm single. I'm single as hell.
But you said don't expect.
So no, what I'm saying is, listen. So if I'm single, right? I'm single. You're in a relationship with somebody else. You choose to cheat with me. That's on you.
I got that part.
But when I get in a relationship, don't expect me to cheat on my nigga with you, because you're the cheater, not me. Not me.
That makes sense.
Not cheating. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it. That's on you.
Cheater, but
Okay, so she will be the sneaky link or the other woman.
Will you be the other woman just in girlfriend-boyfriend relationships or married relationships?
Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
Question.
Don't say it like that. No, because you about to make me seem.
I'm just asking.
I am feeling persecuted right now.
We're just asking.
Yeah, but this is on a global scale. So, repeat your question.
Girlfriend-boyfriend relationships, you will cheat with the boyfriend, or would you cheat with a married man?
As long as we are not in a state where you can sue me being married, I don't care.
Well, in North Carolina, can't they?
You in the wrong state.
They can.
You're
They
wrong
can.
state.
But again, I'm not messing with nobody who's married.
Oh, so you won't mess with the married man?
I no. I do not mess with the married man. No. Because at the end of the day, my thing is like, you took those vows between you and God. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So like, no. Like if you're, my thing is, up until the ring is, you're married, you say I do, you're single. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, okay, you might be engaged, whatever. You haven't made those vows to God.
Okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever been in your side piece era and reached out to the main chick?
For what?
Have you ever did it? I'm asking.
No, because for what?
To say I'm messing with your man.
For what?
So you just do it freely and you good. Like you have no remorse about how she feels.
Okay. No.
Listen. If you haven't reached out, have they ever reached out to you?
Anybody, if you were married, if the people that I was with was married, I did not know. So nobody can say anything to me because I did not know. Now, girlfriend wise, I would have addressed the girlfriend to ask if they knew. Mm-hmm. Just because the dude told me that the girlfriend knew. Okay. If the dude told me that the girlfriend knew, I'm asking the girl. Because you're not about to lie to me and say that she knew when she didn't know. But every time that I asked them, they knew. So I was like, oh,
I like that.
All right.
Side piece with morals.
First off.
All right.
Correction. Because I was not a side piece. A side piece has the goal to being the main. It's not me. That's not me. If I knew that you had a girl, and I won't my thing is, if I knew you had a girl and I talked to your girl and your girl knew that I was there, I'm not trying to take her position. I'm not. I'm just lonely and I'm bored.
Okay, well, speaking of positions.
Oh. Okay.
Do you feel like you should have sex with someone before getting married?
100%.
Should you test drive?
100%.
Why you feel that way?
Because I'm a type of person that, I'm not saying that sexual encounters matter a lot, but it matters. It matters for me. Mm-hmm. Like, if I don't like being with you sexually, it'll never work. We will never be there.
Right.
Like, I don't want to cheat on you, and I'm not going to cheat on you. But I'll tell you, like, you're not doing it for me. Mm-hmm. So either we can break up or you let me have my fun.
Right.
But I'm not going to cheat on you. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to let you know beforehand. But before it even gets there, I'm going to let you know, like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Because I'm a very sexual person.
Right.
Like,
it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not going nowhere.
Gotcha.
All right, Charlie. So tell us, how do you bring spice to a relationship?
You met me, right?
Oh, I know you.
I'm a little spicy firecracker. I bring spice. Right, which is why I said I just bring spice in general. It's my personality.
All right, I like that answer.
Thank you.
All right, so the next question is, in a relationship, would you do joint accounts, and would you mind a stay-at-home dad?
I would not mind a stay-at-home dad, but I'm not doing joint accounts. If it comes to the joint accounts, it's going to be specifically for bills. You have your own account. I'm going to have my own account, but we can have a joint account for bills. Because at the end of the day, you do what you do, I don't care how you spend your money, just like you shouldn't care how I spend my money. But when it comes to the bills, we can have an account together to make sure that all of our bills are paid before either one of us has fun on any type of occasion.
Okay.
Cool. So in your relationship, who do you feel like you should vent your relationship problems to?
I tend to keep most of my stuff to myself.
Good job. That sounds good.
Thank
I like
you.
that answer.
Thank you.
So we know that you speak about poly and stuff like that. So do you feel like you can love more than one person?
Yes, because I have typically loved more than one person at one time. Maybe not like in a relationship type of situation, just because like most of them have been situationships.
Right.
I've loved more than one person at one time, but I'm not romantically involved with both people or however many people are involved at once, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not gonna mess with one person and then mess with another person and just do that. But if I'm feeling both of y'all, I'll let both of y'all know, like, hey, I feel you, but there's another person that I feel the same way, or the same way to a different level. You get what I'm saying?
Right. I got you.
All right. So the last scenario is, all right. So it says, imagine that the sex life you share with your partner isn't satisfying for you. Would you tell them about it, or would you keep it to yourself because you love them a lot?
I would 100% tell you about it, because if we can't fix it, we gotta go.
So if a dude was like taking care of you, but all the things that you said, providing for you,
emotionally there,
everything that you need, but sexually, if we say sexually satisfied, you're a 10, he's about a 4 or 5.
Can I involve somebody else? Then I would let you know what I don't like, or what could use some improvement. If you don't improve, or you're one of those people that are just so stubborn and it's like, oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Babe. Stop. Like, my thing is, like, if you're not willing to compromise or to make it better, we might as well just like dead the situation. Because, like,
even if he's taking care of you, you don't have to work.
I don't care. My thing is, I can take care of myself financially. I don't need you to take care of me.
Emotionally, he's there for you. Everything you need emotionally.
Hey, I can deal with my own emotions. I'm just saying, I've done that for like my whole life. Whether or not it's good or bad, I've dealt with my emotions. But if sexually, if you're not there and you're not trying to compromise, or you're not trying to like work with me and do something that like benefits me in this whole sexual thing, because again, when I come into a relationship or any type of situationship, I have my own place. I have my own car. I can take care of my own. Like, I don't need you.
Okay.
If you're lacking sexually,
okay,
and you're not trying to work on it or help me,
okay, so he do work on it. So he was a 4 or 5. Now he worked on it, and now he's a 6, and that's it. You're not going any higher. He worked on it. A 6 is all you got. That's it.
Okay, if you're a 6, then I feel like I could deal with a 6, just because
your sexual satisfaction.
Yes, because sexually, as far as what you're doing, like the pumping, the whatever, you can do that. There's other things that we can incorporate into it. Collars, leashes, whatever. We can do that to get you up. We can get you up.
Damn.
I mean, what, you gonna make them bark?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're a 6, we can work on this to make you
That
That rope from Lowe's.
what's this? The swing.
Oh, I do want one of
Man,
those.
But he's
I
not
want one of
into
those.
any of that. This is
What
all
you
get
mean
is
he not
the
into
basic.
that?
Mr. Nasty Time.
So you still trying to make him better, but what I'm saying is you are only going to be satisfied at a 6. He's doing everything
But
else.
he's not trying to do anything
He
that I
did.
like. No. He's not comfortable doing anything. First off, I don't like anything crazy. I don't.
Well, what you call leashes and collars? That's not
All you
crazy.
gotta do is put it in your hand and hold it. What you mean?
But somebody's wearing it around their neck, right?
Yeah, me. I'm confused. I'm not putting this collar on you. I'm not making
But
you.
what if that is not something that he's into? Like,
Okay. So you're not into the collar situation or whatever. Will you choke me?
basic.
Vanilla? Vanilla? We're doing vanilla?
He may be able to give you a little strawberry swirl.
What is a
That's it.
strawberry
A
swirl?
little mix, but not much more than that. Because you saying vanilla.
Hold
I'm
on.
saying
No. Because I need to understand what your strawberry swirl
Okay, so
is.
you said. Okay, I need you to understand. Your pleasure zone is a 10. That is your pleasure zone.
We ain't say that. You said that.
Listen. I'm just saying your pleasure zone is a 10. He's only able to give you a 6.
But he
or
not
never
trying to
got-
go to a 7.
No, he already did. He was.
What you mean he
She's saying
did?
he can't.
Girl,
Have you
he
been listening?
Yeah.
was a 4, and he worked.
He
on
was
it.
a 4.
He
He
was a
started
4 or
with a
5.
4, yeah.
Yeah, and then he moved to a 6, and that's
And I'm a
it.
10?
Oh,
I'm
and-
a
but
10.
listen,
Wait, no.
Listen,
Because
listen,
what
listen.
you're saying is I'm a 10.
Yes,
You done made your way from a 4.
yes, to
A
a 6,
4
to a 6.
to a 6. That's a 2.
But he's doing everything else for you. You don't have to work
Babe, you
unless
can't
you
do
want
nothing
to.
with me. You can't do nothing with me.
Emotionally, everything you need. So you're gonna take you walking away from that man.
He don't know me.
So basically, you're saying that the person with you
I'm
has to
sorry,
be a 10.
not trying to be funny, but sex is not everything, but sex is important. It's very important for
But
me.
whenever we first started talking to you as well, emotionally,
No,
mentally
emotionally
was,
yeah, no, don't get me wrong. That is definitely there.
and he's giving you everything you need. There's no lack in that area.
But if you're able to give me what I need emotionally, you can't be a 6. There's no way. There's no way that you were a 6 giving emotionally to me, because sexually, you're going to be able to mind F me. You're going to be able to get me there. I don't care if what you got going on down there ain't what it's going to be, but emotionally, my mind, you're going to be able to mind trick me. You're going to be able to. And if you can't, I just,
All right, we're gonna wrap this up.
No, that makes me feel so bad. Stop. That makes me feel bad. Like, no.
Yes. So we got it. They have to be a 10.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Move
you
it-
don't have to be a
10.
10. You don't have to be a 10 at all.
Just willing
She
to
said a
compromise.
6.
I
At least a
said the
7.5.
man
Yeah.
7.5.
Okay.
Okay.
7.5.
We got you.
Okay.
All right. So this has been a great conversation. Do you have anything you want to add to wrap it up?
Please do not take what I said to not hit me up. Hit me up.
Do you want to give your socials?
My Twitter is X. The bad word F _UX.
What?
Can you just say it out?
Just say it.
Sure. X _UX.
Anything else?
My Snapchat is Beautiful Chief. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it is Charlie Tang, CharleeTang. And my Facebook is Charlie. Actually, no. Don't follow me on Facebook.
Any dating apps you want to plug in? Where they
No.
can find you? Okay.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you,
we appreciate
Charlie.
it, Charlie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, kudos to me.
Yes,
Ow.
kudos. Yes. All right, so I'm going to leave you with this question. If you're single, do you think it's harder to date in 2024 than the past? Comment below. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. And remember,
The wedding is only the beginning.